welcome back to another episode of the Gear for Cowardice. It's been probably about 2 weeks since I made a video, and I would say that I am in a better position now than I was when I made my last video, but it was hard for me to justify making a video because I felt like in a lot of ways I was sliding. So just to name a few things. So number one, I got my car. That's where I'm in right now. It's great. It's everything that I needed. I love it. I got to fix a few things over the next 6 months, but then it's going to last me an extremely long time. Very reliable. Number two, I have been doing interviews at car dealerships. Now, I was kind of in this situation where I was trying to spend as many of my waking hours as possible doing something that would make me income. And I kind of reached the point where I was doing everything at a average or even mediocre level. And I think it was because I was spreading myself so thin. And I had a couple really good conversations with my friends and with my dad, and I think that if I were to put as much energy as possible into one thing or a couple things, that I would be able to really excel with those. So I broke down the math a bunch of different ways, looking at all the different things that I could potentially be doing to earn income. And car dealership is definitely the best vehicle, no pun intended, for me to start making the kind of money that I want to make. And so I'm waiting to hear back from one car dealership. One already turned me down because I had too much job history and they thought I was a job hopper, which in the past I have been, so that's reasonable. And then I just got a call today from another one that wants to interview with me next week. So all things considered, it looks like I'm going to be able to get into a car dealership. And when I do, I'm going to put in the type of hours that I put in when I was selling phones, which is 6-7 days a week. All of the hours that the store is open, I will be there. And every opportunity that I have to work within that job, I'm going to take. And if I bust my ass and I really put in the work, I could do some pretty incredible things. Now, I don't really know exactly what the point of this video is, but I'm just going to kind of keep going with my current situation until the message comes through. So, I am kind of getting my job, work, income situation locked in. But while that's been happening, I've been sliding in other things. Like, for instance, I was only going to smoke at certain benchmarks that I hit. And now I'm just looking for excuses to use as benchmarks so that I can smoke. So I'll say, okay, I'll smoke when I hit this, and then the next day I'll be like, oh well, I hit this, so I'll smoke for that too. And then I'm realizing again that as much as I enjoy smoking, I can't really get shit done while I'm high. Regardless of what I want to think, regardless of how I might be able to force myself to do some things, I'm performing at less than 10% capacity for working or thinking or any of that while I'm stoned. So It's definitely not ideal to have to put it on the back burner again, but I know that it's what I need to do. I'm still figuring out exactly how I'm going to do it. But the other thing that I've been struggling with is overeating, and specifically stress eating. To say I've been stressed these past few months would be a massive understatement. And the way that I've been dealing with that is stuffing my face. And I'm reaching a point where I'm really starting to feel ashamed, not just while I'm eating, but also just of my physical state in general, because I've gained a bunch of weight. I'm probably in the worst shape of my life right now. And I know that it wouldn't take a ridiculous amount of time to achieve the type of physique that I want to. I just need to actually put the work in. And so that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of things. Porn, I've been slipping with a lot too. So I need to get that locked in. I need to get my smoking locked in, and I need to get my eating locked in. And if I can do that, everything else I think is going to fall into place. My sleep I've actually been doing a bit better with this last week, as far as amount, but as far as a sleep schedule, that I also need to get locked in. So I guess the moral of the story is it's okay to celebrate your wins and recognize the progress that you're making. Because I put in a lot of work to get this car, to get my license fixed, to get insurance again. It was not easy. I worked for, basically like 2.5 months without taking a day off. And then I took a weekend off, and then I did another like 3 weeks. And so I did work hard for this, and I do deserve some form of kudos to give myself for that. But that doesn't mean that it's an excuse to let everything else slide. So it's kind of like I need to give myself a pat on the back and also give myself a push back in the right direction. Because when we get complacent because we achieved one goal, then it means that the odds of us achieving anything else go significantly down. And there's nothing more depressing than making it the first step up and then sliding back down. So, yeah, I think that's the moral of the story is it's okay to give yourself kudos. It's okay to celebrate your wins. Just make sure that you're not doing it at the expense of other things that you're trying to fix in your life as well. And it's okay to take breaks when you need it. Just make sure that you don't get hooked on the laziness drug, and make sure that everything is in moderation. Anyway, I think that's what I got for this one. So, thank you for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.